That's what happens when I don't do it correctly. So I did this video earlier, but the audio was peaking because I know nothing about doing this correctly. So anyways, I got the M-Robe 100 here. So I watched, you know, Dank Pod's video about the M-Robe, but I actually grew up having an M-Robe in high school. The M-Robe 100. So this thing had like, this thing came with a charger. I think it came with some earbuds. I don't know what happened to them. I have like a charging dock here. So this thing, I had it back in high school, 9th grade, probably 2005 when I had it, and it came with like a little adapter. You connect this to the computer. You could also connect it underneath the computer, but this allowed you to charge it and use it at the same time. So just pretty cool. Another thing was that you can just use it. I mean, it has a bit of weight to it. It has some like rubber underneath so it doesn't like move around. Still works after all these years, but I mean, I don't use it. I haven't used it since like, well, just recently, because I was testing it. I was working on the video and the audio was peaking anyway, so I ruined the whole video. Anyway, this is how it looks compared to an actual iPod Classic. This is like an iPod. I think it was a 4th gen. I think it's a different charger. I don't know where the charger is, but I did Rockbox this. This is actually using the original software, which I still have the CD here. So I got my CD case that it has for years. I got my software from the M-Robe 100 right here. So yeah, I got the CD right here. This is actually a CD I used on my, I believe it was maybe an XP back in the day. M-Trip software version 1.0. When it just says Windows 2004. That says 1999 2004 software. I am editing this video on Linux, which is very finicky and actually like a bit frustrating when some of the stuff doesn't work and I can't figure out why the mic is not working. We do have a bit of a complicated setup, but it is working now, I hope. I filmed this earlier for 30 minutes and it just, all the audio was peaked anyways. So I've been using Linux for years, as you can tell, like right here, Ubuntu 10.10 Linux 2010. Anyways, I'm just showing off. So I mean, as you can see, this MP3 player is very tiny compared to like an iPhone 13. This is like, you know, tiny. Yeah, it's like right here. I mean, of course, like it's been years, but I'm just showing off the size. And of course, back then I had my Game Boy Advance. You know, Game Boy Advance, indigo color, Mega Man Battle Network 6, Cyber Beast. Oh no, Cyber Beast Gregor. Back in the day you had this, but this was cool because it had a rechargeable battery, lithium battery, I guess. This had like a AA batteries. Of course, they're always running out of batteries. And they didn't have a backlit. This does. It had a very cool, like, I want to say black and white. I mean like black and red, but it's kind of like it's not an OLED, obviously. It's an old LCD screen, I believe, but it's like, anyways. So this thing actually had like a headphone jack. There's like an adapter for this, so you can use it as a remote control with a little remote controller that you had to buy separately, but I don't have it. I never bought it. Hold button, so you could turn this. You could hold this so it doesn't, I guess, so it doesn't like turn on by itself, or you move it by accident. The screen has a bit of a greenish, like like a dark greenish tint. I mean, I wouldn't say tint, but like a different like greenish color. Let me see if I can shine some light in it somewhere. So it's not completely black, obviously. It's a little bit like a dark green color to it. Obviously, this thing has seen better days. It's all scratched up. But I had it for years. It's very lightweight, actually. This phone actually weighs a bit more than this. Actually, this one's a bit lighter than this one. This is a Google Pixel A, 4A. These are almost, actually this one's significantly heavy, plus this was like a color one. So, let's turn it on. Ta-da! It still works after all these years. I had it for, what is it, like 2005, now we're in 2006, so like 21 years old, like older than, oh look, you can like press on it. I mean, obviously I wouldn't be doing that, I'm gonna fuck up the screen, but it doesn't have Bluetooth, so of course you have to, I'm gonna keep it docked so I can keep charging it. I don't have one of those like sexy voice Bluetooth speakers, but there's a JB Lab, I guess, not JB Lab, JBL charge something. That's actually sounds pretty good. I like it. Pretty big compared to like this little tiny MP3 here. Let me put this here. So I got my music. Doesn't make a clicking sound. You could disable that. So I got all my music from back in the day. So you gotta go back here. So you got the main menu, which is like music list, browse, music settings, device settings. So of course you have like, in the back is just a timer. The beep, you could turn that off. No more beeping. I think it does have like an equalizer. Oops, not that one. Equalizer, but the equalizer is more like bass boost, bass cut, mid boost, mid cut, you know, vocal. It doesn't have like the whole bar setup that you would normally use. So we got that, and then we have, you know, browse all artists, album, genre, composer, years. So got my music list here. This is actually not that bad in terms of like touch sensitivity. I thought it was worse, but it's not terrible. It's not, I mean, in my opinion, I think it's better than, maybe, I don't know, I can't really say for that one, but I do like this better than I did enjoy this. I didn't grow up with this, so I bought this one about 5 years ago, so I don't have nostalgia for this, but I did have this back in the day, and I did have a CD player before that. So, and then I think afterwards I had the SanDisk MP3, whatever, for a different video, but I had those when I was in college. So you know, my favorites here recently you listened to, my top 20 playlists and stuff like that. So it's not terrible. Of course I'm gonna listen to my top 20 just for nostalgia, and of course like my channel's not, you know, monetized, so who cares. Oops, this is a bit slow. So we have desk clock. This was like, I think, for like lyrics over here, but I don't have any lyrics. So just like change the volume and bring it up. You also press and hold, then it automatically goes down. Press and hold, and it automatically goes up, which is pretty cool. So Feel Good Ink, we all know what that sounds like. Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger, Daft Punk. This was a song that I was actually having like nostalgia because I have not heard this song since I stopped using this, probably in high school. I only have like 500 songs in this thing, which, I mean, it's a lot, but compared to like current setup is. Compared to my current setup, which is now like, I mean, I switched between different apps, so this is Music.ly, but I now have like 12,563 songs. There's a lot of songs that are not here, obviously. I mean, this is so much like massive difference. Both touch screens, which is pretty cool. Oh my god, what the fuck? The ghetto bird over here in my house. So obviously, like, there's a huge difference. You're not getting like album covers. I kind of wish I could do that with a current phone. I do have a similar setup, I guess, with a. Oh shit! I wouldn't say similar. It's not similar at all, I guess, but like. Very different. This is more like a zoom setup. I wish I had more like a black and red, just for nostalgic purposes. But like, you could do apps for like iPod, like Classic Pod, which is pretty cool, for like kind of like an iPod nostalgia wave. I mean, this is not very good as compared to like an actual scroll thing, but it does do a pretty cool trick for like nostalgic purposes for iPod. I mean, I wish it kind of had like a little bit of a click to it, but it actually does work pretty cool. But for like the Emerald, I haven't really found anything that is close enough. I got my Shakira, Van Halen, Dance Dance. Get a recorded from something, Daft Punk, One More Time. Of course, there was no like, wasn't like fetching all the information like it does in this thing now. Like, I mean, I'm not comparing it. It's just like, I have no nostalgia for this because I got this like when I was like 5 years ago during COVID. I was just bored and I bought it on eBay. It's pretty cool. I did rockbox it. I don't really have nostalgia for it, but I really, really wanted one of these back in the day. I mean, an actual iPod, not this thing. I mean, it's cool. I like it, but you know, my parents were like, no, we don't have money for it. So we bought this on Radio Shack for like about $100. I guess they were on clearance. They were getting rid of them. This has about 5 gigabytes, but actually you only get about like 4 gigs because, you know, the operating system takes a bunch of it. And Fallout, Green Day, all the old stuff. Something from Rocky. And they got this Michael Jackson remix that I don't know where I got it from, but it's pretty nostalgic. Like, I know nothing about this remix. I don't know how I got it, I think I got it from my cousin, but it's there, you know. I wish I could find something similar for like my phone. I mean, it's so like the whole touchscreen thing will be so nostalgic, just for me at least. Like, of course, like Rockbox is pretty similar when it comes to like the color. I think for this one was like black and green or black and blue, like very similar to Rockbox. But I wish I could do that with the phone. I don't know if you could put Rockbox on the phone just to get this look. That would be so cool. Hips don't lie. And it's not very fast, so you do have to be like very patient with it. Tracks. Track 1, track 2, Thunder Horse. That's cool. I think I already played that, didn't I? So there's that. And then, I mean, it's an MP3 player. There's not a whole lot to it. I have a whole lot of like unplayed tracks on here. Like, of course, I listen to Michael Jackson, but of course, like, not here apparently. A lot of this stuff is unplayed. So you could like press down, so you could scroll down automatically, which is pretty cool. I kind of wish I got the little remote thing. I don't know what it does, and I don't know how it would work, but there was one that you connected here, and that was like a little adapter or something to control the music. So I guess the idea was like you lock it, and then you lock it here, you hold it, and I guess you control it with the adapter. I'm not sure. We got Kids. I mean, of course, I listened to a lot of these on the CD when I had the CDs. I would borrow CDs from the library and just put them in here. The problem with this thing is that the software was very finicky. This thing was like, I won't say finicky, but it was difficult because I got this thing because my cousin went to Radio Shack and he bought the M-Robe. And he bought it at Radio Shack, and like, oh man, that looks so cool, and I want one. And so I got one. And the thing about this thing is that when you put it in a computer, it would like, it had like this huge like DMR protection thing where like if you put it in a computer, you could only use it on that computer alone. So you couldn't put it on a, so like it was set up on his computer, right? So when I put music on his computer, you know, it would work. But when I put the software on my computer and I try to put music through my computer, it would override everything that was already inside of it. So every single time you added music, it would override all of the music that was already in there. At least and then on top of that was, it would overwrite the music on a different computer. So if I took it to someone else's computer, and you had to do it through the software, which was very annoying. And you couldn't do it like you know, Rockbox software. You could do drag and drop. Same thing with Android, drag and drop. You can only do it like, I guess it was closer to like the iPod in terms of software. I don't know. I didn't grow up with it, but I think it was probably similar to that, like the whole DMR stuff. Another thing that the software was very like buggy, I guess. And then on top of that, like I didn't have internet, so I couldn't really update it back then. I mean, we had dial-up internet for some reason. We had Netscape dial-up, so I couldn't just update the software whenever. I mean, this is version 1.0. We weren't getting the latest software update, but it was very annoying. Another thing was, I don't know where the charger, I don't know where the, oh shit, the original adapter is not the same as like in the iPod one. I think the iPod one was the same as the Zoom, which was very convenient, but this one is much smaller. I'm not sure if it shows up like that. Yeah, it says PCIF. So that sucks. If you lose the adapter and you know, they discontinue the product like they did, you're out of luck. And I have no idea where the cable is, and I'm not about to buy one anyway. So obviously it's not a Type-C connection. It's something old as hell. But this is the charger for it, so you could charge it separately, which is pretty cool. Anyways, that's it for this device. Hopefully the audio did record. So yeah, peace.